Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. We have made it. How are you all doing? I've had a bit of a weird, well, not a weird day. It's a bit of a mucky day. Chasing out walls of all things. Probably of all of the things that I do as an electrician, that is easily my least favorite thing to do. That and coring holes. Anything that I think a builder should do, really. But anyway, how you doing, guys? We're going to start the beer off with, it's got to be a Budvar. And I have the Budvar glass. There we go. If you're going to drink a Budvar, you've got to drink it out of a glass, according to Redeem. Some of you may know Redeem. If you don't know Redeem, have a little look. Search Redeem, RADIM _ Zvanovic. He is now, as of this week, the global brand ambassador for Budvar. He was the European brand ambassador. He's got a promotion. And what have I done with my bottle opener? I will use this one. How's everybody doing? What are you drinking tonight? Like I say, just going to have a Budvar to start. Nice and simple. I was kind of looking. I went into Tesco's. Didn't even plan on doing a live tonight, if I'm honest. Went in Tesco. No, Morrison, sorry. There we go. That's not bad. That's good. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. That's just a really, really good beer, that. I went into Morrison's and I kind of walked past the beer aisle. I wasn't going to go down there, and I was like, oh, it sucked me in, didn't it? And in the hope that there might have been, so I don't know, something new. Who knows? So I went down there, and I looked at the craft beer in the fridge, and I was like, there's nothing that really got me. And so I just looked, and there were some green, glistening bottles of Budvar, Budweiser Budvar, the Czech lager. And I was like, yes, that is absolutely what the man needs right now. How you doing? Let's get some comments. There's a few of you in. Thanks for coming in, guys. First off with the comments on the live session is Leah Miles Friday. Yeah, how you doing, Leah? Good to see you, my darling. Craig H, evening, Mark. Evening to you, sir. Off to Kosovo. That's seriously cool. Yeah, a bit of a last-minute trip. This time last week I wasn't going, but there's about 8 of us, and it's like £1 a pint. I think like a meal. A decent meal is about £4. But that's not the reason we're going. We've done the whole piss up thing. Now we're going to go. We've done the whole piss up thing earlier in the year, or end of last year. Went to Lithuania, and this is going to be a bit more sort of going up in the mountains. We rented a car. It's going to be a lot more sort of culture. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And apparently, like that part of Europe is just really untouched in terms of what to see and what to do. Apparently it's amazing. Henry 420, how you doing, my man? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Henry. 53 North, Kosovo, nice, on my list. Yeah, wasn't really on my list, if I'm honest. A friend had already booked the accommodation, massive house, and all the rest of it, and he was like, basically, I'm part of a club, I'm part of a social club, and I've been working with him, and he was like, as a thank you, can I pay for your flight if you want to come out? So it's like a free trip to Kosovo, really. So yes, really looking forward to it. 53 North, apparently it's stunning. We're going to go up to the ski resorts. It's got everything, this place, apparently, so we're going to see a bit of everything. Matt Hall, how you doing, mate? Supping a Freedom Lager. It's an Aldi one, not their best. No. I'll tell you what, it's funny you should say that, because I found these at the back of my shelf. This Freedom IPL. Is it this one, Matt? The India Pale Lager. It was rubbish. Really, really poor. I really wanted to like it, but it's difficult. It was very cheap. You're right. It's very cheap, but just didn't hit any of the spots, really. However, this does hit the spots. But yeah, so what have I been up to? Last Friday. This time last Friday. Yeah, this time last Friday, I just got to the hotel in I live in Norfolk, which is like miles away from anywhere. If I ever get invited to anything that's outside of Norfolk, it's like straight away 2-hour drive. So Paul's beer reviews, it was his wife's birthday the other day, last Friday. We'd been meaning to go and see Paul. So for those of you that know Paul's beer reviews, what a legend. And for those of you that don't know, he recently got a job working as the taproom manager at Creative Juices Brewery. And we've been meaning to go and see him for a long time, because I think it was a big move for Paul, bit of a career change. And and we thought, John and I, we'd been trying to get together, and Crummy and Chris's beer reviews, we'd sort of try to get down there to see him. And we surprised him. And he didn't clock it until we got right to the bar. And he went, "What the F are you doing here?" As you can imagine, Paul does. And yeah, we had a cracking night. So that was really good. That was a nice little beery adventure. I'm working on something. I'm not going to say too much right now. But I'm working on something that's really excited. It's definitely beer related. It's not channel related though, but it probably will make it to the channel. But yeah, I'm working on something that's really exciting. Really exciting. Like we've had some good meetings this week. Really excited about that. Matt Hall says it's the Ankle Tap Lager, probably same but rebranded. Yeah, is it hoppy? Is it sort of meant to be hoppy? This was just really, really weirdly bitter and had that horrible metallic bitter thing to it that I'm just not a fan of. Well, who is? But yeah, so we had a night out there. What else have I done? Not a whole lot, really. My daughter's not been very well. So we've been a couple of visits to the hospital since the last time I was on a live. But yeah, so this is sort of one of my first Fridays where it's just like, I'm home. I finish work. I am working tomorrow though, which is a bit rubbish, but I finish work and I'm having a beer with you guys. So cheers. CJ, hello, mate. CJ Art UK. How you doing, CJ? It's quite funny because I get hit on my Instagram because I'm a male and my Instagram just hits me with beers and women. every woman every Instagram model I click on, CJ follows them. It's so funny. It's so funny. Even like the most obscure ones, it's like, yeah, followed by CJR UK. Oh, I hope CJ's partner, if he's got a partner, I hope she's not sitting, or he or she's not sitting next to me right now. But yeah, what's everybody drinking? Like I say, I'm really enjoying this Budvar. I've only done a bottle of it already. It's like £2.50 a bottle. £2.50? £2? Just can't go wrong. And in bad news for me, Morrison's has stopped stocking Hofbrau. I was looking for it. They've added these. They stopped stocking it since they made this. Like, is anyone else's Morrison's the same? You go down like the beer aisle now, and it's all like fancy lit up gin shelves, like really fancy. It looks like you're in some sort of wine bar in London. And then the other side, it's all like the beer fridges. And since they made the changeover to the fridges, I think they've had to cut their range down to make sure it fits in the fridge. And they've got rid of certain lagers. And one of them to go is Hofbrau. But they've kept things like Moretti Grand Reserva that surely nobody buys. Peroni Grand Reserva that nobody buys. Well, I'd like to think so. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit hard done by today. Also got me water as well. We should have the Crummy Beard coming on at some point. Paul's working. John's possibly on a stag do. Let's just check the WhatsApp because it's kicking off. No, Tom's just said work issue won't be long. No dramas, Tom, if you're watching, mate. No dramas at all. There we go. Has anyone? So obviously got Kosovo next week. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Has anyone been? What's the beer scene like? I don't know. Part of me thinks it might be all right. I don't know. Technically, it's not a Mediterranean country because it's not on the Mediterranean, but I only think it's like, is it Albania away from the Med? So I'm hoping there might be some nice Med lagers. And randomly, that part of, Croatia's got a really good craft scene. And Kosovo's down that way. So I'm hoping maybe, Garage. No, the Garden Brewery. The Garden. Oh, I've got this signal thing. I think StreamYard's having a bit of a fit. You've got the Garden Brewery. They do their sort of just off white cans. They're from Croatia, so I'm hoping that there might be some half decent craft beer. And there is a beard that is crummy in the basement.
Hello. How are we doing?
You right, mate?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Very well. Just finished work.
Yes, and it's continuing on into my leisure time now.
No.
Yeah. So yes, I'm trying to keep calm. Okay, no, it's all right. It's good. It's fine. Someone's handling it. It's fine.
Perfect. No, that's perfect because now you're streaming, so obviously you can't.
Well, I kind of sat there looking at it. No one was replying. I was like, if I just close this, and just sneak away to the stream. Maybe it'll fix itself. Who knows?
It's funny. I solve a lot of problems like that by just
In the incredibly unlikely event anyone from my work is watching, my computer is in arm's reach. I can grab it and fix stuff. This is not. I've not abandoned ship, but there's not a lot I can do without a decision. So anyway,
Well, there you go.
So yeah, it's beer time. What are you drinking, mate?
I'm on a good old Budvar in my Budvar glass.
Ooh, Budvar. Very nice. Very nice. What do I want today?
I've kind of got a full beer fridge now. I was whittling away. I'd sort of too much beer. But I've got some really interesting stuff in here. I've got this bottle is really cool. So this will be coming to the channel on a review. So for those of you that don't know, Adnams was 150 years old last year.
Wow.
And I got onto this late. So Adnams started in 1872. So they've produced 1872 of these. And each label is different. So that label is unique to this bottle, and they've numbered the bottle.
Oh, that's cool. Dare I ask how much that cost?
It was about $7.50.
Okay.
But it's a wine barrel aged beer. It's a mosaic, single hop mosaic. It's a pale malt beer, and it's had additions of coriander seeds, orange peel, and black currants. So this will probably be. I mean, Adnams don't miss for me. So I know you're not the biggest fan. I know, Tom.
Easy, Ozzy. Not fussed either way, really. But yeah,
bit of local sort of brewing history, really, for me there. How did the beer reviews? How did the beers go last night? Obviously, John released his 3 new bottled beers, didn't he?
He did. He drank 3 and then felt wobbly after them. Which is not unusual.
I spoke to him this morning. I was like, "How you feeling this morning?" He's like, "I'm fine, mate. I'm fine." I was like, "You're not. You'll never fine."
No, it went down well. Paul had one of them. He started with the best bitter. I forgot what it's called now.
Weekend Driver.
That's the one. They both started with that. I haven't got any, sadly, so I can't report. But they look tasty. I can tell you that much.
I abandoned Car Porter. I reviewed that this week. That's coming out probably next week or the week after. That was good, but it's not quite as good as I remembered it.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting.
Yeah,
but it's still a good beer. I just remember it blowing my mind before, and it just didn't quite have that. But I don't know if it's because I knew what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult when you've got. Yeah, when you know.
It is, and that's no disrespect to John or the brewing team at all. I won't give it the rating. I still gave it a very high rating, but I don't know. Maybe that novelty factor went because I remember at the time when I first had that, every porter had like maple or raspberries or something in it, and it was just like someone's given me a proper solid porter, and it was just like perfect. What have you got there? That is a Black Isle can wrap if I've ever seen one. Is that Helles again?
It is, yeah. No, this is the pills, the other one, the fried pills. I can't remember. I don't think I've reviewed it. I've definitely had one before, but I can't remember what it's like. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it another bash.
I am banishing one of the Leffe bottle caps to eternity. That was a Leffe Royale Cascade.
Oh, ruined it.
Not a fan.
Well, I've not had it. I've had the Royale. Royale's great. I'm not sure putting Cascade in there would have helped it, but
I remember it being very good. I'll tell you the best one randomly, because this is obviously I'm very craft beer focused. The best Royale I had was the Goldings Royale. Obviously, Goldings being a very traditional sort of old English hop.
Yeah,
it was
I didn't even know
good.
they'd done. To be honest, I didn't know they'd done Royale in hop variant. So this is news.
Yeah, so there's probably about 5 of them. I'm due to go to France. Well, we've booked another holiday to France down to the Loire Valley. So when's that? May, June time. So I'll definitely bring some back if I can find some for you.
Please do. I would appreciate that. Very nice.
53 North is classed as the Balkans. Yeah, it probably yeah. He says they defo like their beer, mate. It's £1 a pint. Ridiculous. This is out in Kosovo, Tom. Have you ever been?
I have not. No.
No, it's sort of. I think that they were. I mean, they were at war until probably.
I was going to say that's all I know it for is war. So
quite weirdly, if you look at the travel advice on the British government website, it says it's still a disputed territory.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think they just didn't maybe nail the formalities after when it all kicked off. But there are statues of Bill Clinton and stuff. It's going to be quite weird. Matt Hall says, "Hey Tom, are you off to Nottingham Craft Beer Festival in June? We've got tickets for the Saturday early session."
Certainly am. I've got tickets, but I've got Friday evening session tickets, I'm afraid, Matt. So I won't be seeing you there, I'm afraid. I did Friday afternoon last year, and it was good. It seemed it's not so big that you need hours and hours and hours there. And of course, Friday evening's kind of one of the second session overall for the weekend, so there's still everything left, pretty much.
Good move, that actually.
Yeah.
Good move. I remember I got to York Beer Festival on the Saturday, and Matt's talked about Vocation there. No, was it Vocation or Brew York? I think it was Brew York. So John had his Lord's Brewing Company stand right at the back, and then to the left of that, I believe it was Brew York. It wasn't Vocation. They'd sold out. No, it was Brew York. They'd sold out of everything apart from one, and this was a Saturday morning.
Oh dear.
So I think they got absolutely hammered. Matt Hall says, anyone else bought from the Vocation sale? Got some good offers on there at the moment.
They have got some good offers. I've not bought anything, but those prices are looking very competitive.
Talking of offers, anything happening with the beeroffersweb.com website?
It's still functional. It's still going. It's still going away to find the offers. I don't think those new Vocation ones are on yet, actually, because I was a little bit lazy this week with my updates. But no, it's still fully active. It's going. Nothing new at this point. I'm not gonna dob anyone in here, but when I tried to get it off the ground, get a lot of interest about it, a lot of breweries didn't want to know, which is fine. They're busy people. I understand. January hit and no one was buying anything, and all of a sudden some DMs started creeping.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I've had a very busy January, so I've not had time to respond to them. So those people, on the off chance, I'm not ignoring.
How do you like those apples, guys?
Yeah, well, it's funny, isn't it? I get it. I'm not, it's just one of those. It's just one of those funny things that obviously, at the point that I wasn't very busy trying to push the thing, everyone else was too busy because it was late summer and everyone was buying beer. So it gets to the switch side of that, and all of a sudden I've got too much on to pay it too much attention. So,
well, you're on the map there, Tom. At least
it can't be helped. Never mind.
Right. I'll tell you what. I thought, should I get one of the old crafties out? But I'm going to do the other Budvar.
This Fry Pills is all right. I do remember it now. It's a bit like their blonde, which actually isn't a blonde. It's actually a blonde. It's a bit like their blonde, but without the indeed. But I'd say without the best bit of their blonde.
Right. Okay.
So it's good, but it's like I'm waiting for that. Their blonde's got a super nice biscuity malt base to it. I'm waiting for that. And it just never quite gets there. It's a Pilsner. It's probably not meant to be that bready, but I get it. But yes, it's just because it's so similar. I'm going through the whole, and it's going to come, and it's going to no, it never arrives.
I know what you mean,
but it's a solid British Pilsner. But
I'll tell you what, I'm going to send a photo to Redim right now.
Ooh, what you sending?
A photo of my Budvar to Redim. There we go. Have you met Redim yet, Tom? Have you met him anywhere?
Nope. I have not. I don't know where I don't know where he'll be when I'll be.
I'll tell you what, actually, he might not be where anyone's going to be in this on this continent because he is now the global brand ambassador for Budvar. He was the European brand ambassador, which is why we saw him everywhere.
Yes.
But he got a promotion.
Wow.
I think he lived like somewhere like Hertfordshire or somewhere. I'd see him at home and he'd always tag his location. Anyway, well done.
Yeah, it was home counties, I remember, yeah.
Henry Hall 20 said, good evening all. Good evening, Henry. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. And of course you know who this man is, but if you don't know, this is the Crummy Beard. Go and check him out. He does everything. Whiskey. He used to do biscuits, but not as much anymore.
There was literally a bored man with a camera moment before I established what I was doing. But yes,
there we go.
I think everything might be overkill. People are expecting everything. Just beer and whiskey at this point in time, and the occasional travel experience that does often involve beer and whiskey. But
yes, I've started to think that Tom actually built his travel adventures around beer and whiskey. Get in the comment and let me know if you think I'm wrong. I think I've rumbled him. There we go. Simo, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well, mate. Evening to you, my good friend. How are you? Il Corvo says he's got some Franciscana Vice beer. My phone that had autocorrect, which probably says a lot. Yeah, that's just a good beer, mate. It's just really good. I did look at some Franciscanas and I was like, oh, this is just beer. Do you find Vice beer, Tom? Do you find it a little bit heavy sometimes if you drink sort of 3 or 4?
Yeah, it's got like this. It seems to expand rather than. So most beer deflates, right? Because the bubbles get out of it, and you end up either get lost in the glass or you end up burping them out or whatever. I just feel like Vice beer probably doesn't expand; it just stays and like kind of pillowy.
Yeah,
it's just kind of bouncing around. Yeah, it does. It is a bit. I think it affects some people more than others. Because I know some people are like, I could only drink one of those. And then I'm like, I could probably do 2 or 3. I probably wouldn't want to go more than 3.
No. But, I mean, I'm that kind of like 1 or 2 kind of guy. I don't know. It just sort of makes, I don't know. It just feels heavy on me. I might have a slight wheat intolerance or something.
If you've got any sort of sensitivity to, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, these Budvars are going down absolutely perfectly.
Very nice, very nice.
Simo says, Il Corvo, I have a couple of pints of Frankie Royale. See, that's a beer I've never had. And apparently it's amazing. He's got Frankie Royale on the PD as Simo. He says, going to be akin to a soup. Do you shake? I heard John talk about shaking the kegs. Obviously, it's gonna be hard in the PD, but yeah, I remember John just talking about shaking because I imagine all the weight of that wheat in the, I don't know, the weight of the body of it's such a body heavy beer that I imagine a lot of it just falls to the bottom with the weight, natural weight.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
But I mean, I'm not a brewer and I'm just an idiot that drinks beer on YouTube. Henry says, good evening, Simo and Il Corvo. 53 North says, Transnistria is number 1 on my list, an unrecognised country sandwiched between Moldova and Ukraine. I'll tell you what, 53 North, if you haven't already, go and watch Bald and Bankrupt. He goes to the weirdest... Have you ever seen him, Tom?
It rings... What's he look like?
No bit... he's sort of a better looking version of John. Shorter beard, bald head. And this is difficult. John is known as John.
I think the answer is probably yes, but not recently and not a lot of. But yes, I'm pretty sure.
Honestly, he goes to the most obscure countries. He's absolutely bonkers. But yeah, Transnistria, I saw that. They've got their own currency, haven't they, and all the rest of it. Weird little place. Matt Hall says, leave some beer for me, Tom.
I will try.
I'll tell you what, the last time Tom went, there wasn't a lot of beer left, was there, Tom? Tom got a little bit drunk, didn't you?
Not too bad. I mean, we carried on after the beer festival. That was the mistake.
Oh, okay.
But yes, we're starting. I tell you what did me. Emperor's Brewery. Is his name Damien? I want to say his name's Damien.
Yeah, Damien, that's him.
Yeah. He took a whiskey and wort.
That's his thing.
It is his thing. He does it after every brew day, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was his thing. So he took that, and I had one of those towards the end of the night, and that was powerful, to say the least.
Didn't you have quite a pokey beer early on?
You're misremembering Nottingham Craft Beer Festival and Derby Beer Con.
That Derby Beer Con's one I'm on about. Yeah,
Derby Beer Con was especially early because I was in the morning session. Well, morning, lunch session, whatever. It started at 10 or 11. Can't remember. I think it started at, yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, but yes, first beer was like a 7% white stout or something. But limited. It was only there for about 3.5 hours, so it wasn't. Had limited time to get the interesting stuff in.
He caned it, everybody. He caned it. Right, and Il Corvo says, mine's on PD as well, Simo. The Royale was too rich for me, 6 litres of it anyway. Yeah, Il Corvo, I think I'd be with you on the way I think that beer would be. After our Vice beer conversation. Henry 420 says, cheers, Crummy.
Cheers, Henry.
Simo Sup says, Il Corvo, first time I've had the Royale. Nice, but a bit OTT for me. Yeah, it's definitely more of, I thought that was a northern word, it's definitely more of a couple of pints and done. Yeah, I'm with you. I think this harks back to our conversation earlier.
Is this the left Royale or a different Royale? Sorry,
Franciscana.
Okay, yes, yeah, that would be.
So Sobieski's in. Hello, mate. How you doing? Good to see you. He says, evening all. Evening to you, good sir.
Evening.
Henry says, good evening, Sobieski. And Henry also says, smash that like button, subscribe, and share equals amazing community. If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. And thank you, Henry, for all your cheerleading that goes on in the chat. We do appreciate it, mate. Sobieski says, Henry 420, evening, mate. I hope all is well. Henry replies saying, not bad. Paul Greenwood, how you doing, my friend? Evening, lads. Hope you're okay on a Friday live. Woohoo! Absolutely. I didn't think about doing a live until I saw the Budvar in the fridge at Morrison's. I was on the phone to John at the time. We were talking, and I was like, literally sort of walking on, Anna, mate. Yeah. How'd it go? Yeah. Do you fancy a live tonight? So I got the Budvar in the fridge. Yeah, there we go. Henry Fulton says, cheers, Paul. Paul says, Henry, hope you're okay. Swabsy says, Henry, all good, mate. Gearing up for a good Friday night. Absolutely. Friday's proper beer night, isn't it? It's a proper beer night. It's true. I would say, in terms of sort of drinking habits, I would say I definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, I probably drink if I'm drinking 4 beers on a Friday night to 1 on a Saturday, that's probably the right ratio. What about you, Tom?
Sorry, say that ratio again. You lost me there.
Probably 4 to 1 Friday over Saturday.
As a ratio, not as you're having 4 on Friday and 1 on Saturday.
No. It's a ratio. It's multiples thereafter.
You know what? I vary wildly. I go through months where, like, for instance, I was thinking about this earlier for some reason, actually. So, like, December is always a bit of a write-off anyway, because it's just like chaotic Christmas events dotted throughout. So there's no real rhyme or reason there. And I was thinking about it. It's like, yeah, but like October and November, I was like, I probably drank, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights a week at the most, but then like it'd be quite heavy nights normally. And then realized like all through January and this year, I probably drank more like 4, 5, sometimes 6 days a week, but sometimes only 1, 2. And it's not always beer, but like it's just like it seems to be more, more spread out. I don't know if any of them is preferable or not, to be honest. But yeah, I just get into rhythms, and then there'll be one event like Christmas or a holiday or whatever, and it just changes it all up completely. I don't really know why.
It's true.
But yes, I quite often don't drink on one of the weekend days at the minute. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, no, I hear you. and quite often mine's a Saturday. Like quite often I'll sit at home, and if we're watching, I don't know, my daughter's gone to bed or something, and I'm just like I can't be bothered to drink. It's like a weird, like I
Yeah.
just can't be bothered.
Although unlikely this weekend because it's the opening weekend of the Six Nations, so
Yes, it
it's
is.
a beery weekend.
Who are the three Lions playing first? I don't watch rugby, by the way. I'm just winding you up.
That's not the term.
Everyone's like, report.
Yeah, it's Ireland. It's Wales, Ireland tomorrow mid-afternoon. It's England, Scotland late afternoon. France, Italy Sunday this weekend.
Right. Okay.
So
who's the favourites going in?
France got to be the favourite, I think.
Did they win it last time?
They won it last time. They're hot for the World Cup. World Cup is in France this year. It's all
dunk, then.
It's all pointing that way. The only question was, did they peak too early? Because they were like last year and the year before, they were hot. So it's like,
right.
Maybe, not sure. England won't be favourites because we've got a new coach, first tournament with a new coach.
Yes, I actually heard an interview with Maro Itoje about that. Okay, very different, apparently, to, is it Eddie Jones, was it?
Eddie Jones was the previous, yeah.
Yep, apparently a very different coach to Eddie Jones that wants to do things his way. And it was, one of those interviews where it's like, I don't know. You know, when you hear someone and it's like, yeah, we had a good time under Eddie Jones, but the new coach wants to do things his way. And it's like, oh, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You just hear it and you're like, is that a...
Could be. He took to be fair, this coach has got a pedigree. He took Leicester Tigers from bottom to top of the league. So that's a decent starting point. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out, I guess. I don't hate his squad selection from what I've seen. I think he's made some good calls there. Eddie Jones was a bit like, it was almost like Jekyll and Hyde. One week he'd go out and he'd bring in all the old boys back in.
Yeah.
And then the next week he'd have none of them in. I'm like, no, it doesn't work, mate. You need a balance here.
Yeah.
To try and so this feels it might be a bit more older player biased, maybe, but I still think it's the right call overall.
Well, there we go. For all you rugby fans. I don't know what. Yes. Lawrence Dallaglio, he's going to be starting tomorrow. Henry 420 says, Sobieski, good to hear, mate. And yeah, baby. Henry saying hello to Paul. How you doing? Paul Green says, yeah, not bad. Finished work, then home for a cheeky beer. Demon 91, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Cheers, he says. Henry says, good to hear, mate. Nice, bro. I feel like he's the doorman, isn't he, Henry? I'll tell you what he is. He's like the concierge. He sort of says hello to everybody. Like, dear, cheers.
There's a guy that goes around on social media. Well, he posts social media videos like welcoming people into Tesco. What's it called?
He's like, shoulders back, go smash it. What does he say? He says things like, "You got a fabulously symmetrical face there. Shoulders back, smash the day." Him.
Yeah.
What's his name? Everybody, get in the chat. Paul, how you doing, Paul? He's just said butt scratcher.
Butt scratcher.
Might be one of the new beers on the bar at Creative Juices. No less. Never know.
Paul's butt scratcher ale.
That sounds like a beer that Theakston's would do with a dog sort of rubbing his bum on the carpet. 53 North says, yes, Team Board and Bankrupt, very good. He is, isn't he? He's like a one-man documentary service, he is. Henry says hello to Paul. Henry's laughing. David Wilson, how you doing, mate? He is a man that loves a beer. Hi, all. Henry says, hey, David. Thomas Flynn says, hey, all. Good to see you, Tom. Hope you're well, mate. Il Corvo, what's the frequency of green bottled Budvars being sunk? Luckily, my skunk, sorry. Luckily, my local off license stocks are 330 and 500ml cans. To be fair, these have been pretty good, if I'm honest.
I've never had an issue.
No.
But I think I've only bought them in packs, so they're in cardboard boxes. That might be the trick.
Bit of light strike, maybe. Who knows? Yes, but Il Corvo, if you've had issues, let us know. Thomas Flynn says no spilling beers today, Tom.
I'll try.
Story was that last night, Tom? Was it?
Yeah, I was here. Just poured, and I don't know which hand it was. Either, I basically crossed over to put the can back down, and it was either that side of that hand or just the top of the finger on this one, and it went everywhere.
I need to find that. I need to watch John's stream back tomorrow.
It just went. It still smells like beer in here today. I've cleaned everything multiple times. I'm 90% for breeze right now, but you know.
Is this a Paul? Is this akin, or is this up there with Paul sort of falling off his chair moment when he came in that time?
It wasn't. It was the thing. Was I caught it, so I only lost about. Well, it was a 440ml can, so it was still that. There was still that much beer in the glass.
I'm happy for you that you caught it, but I'm equally as devastated. I'm not going to see some amazing content.
Yeah, I managed to catch it, but it still went like I think the furthest bit was 3 feet or 3.5 feet away.
Well, it's still pretty good.
It was good. It was a good throw. covered the microphone. I don't know how it's still working.
Oh, yeah. He whacked all his equipment.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Nightmare. Henry 420 says Thomas Flynn, cheers. David says hi to Thomas. Henry says, Mark, that's me. Absolutely, mate. You're a legend. Have you seen that Greeters Guild? Yes, that's it.
That's it.
That's him, isn't it? What's his name? It's like, what's it? I'm going to Google him. I'm going to Google him right now. He is hilarious. Did you ever see when he welcomed the Man City team into pre-season?
No.
He's just standing at the training ground. They're obviously first day at pre-season, probably a bit annoyed that they've had to put their wives down, that they've been having a great time within Dubai, and then they're back at training again. And then he's there, he's like, shoulders back, go smash it, seize the day, and all this sort of stuff. What's his name? So funny. Greeters Guild. He's hilarious. What is he? What's his name? Here he is. What's his name? Troy Hawk.
Troy Hawk. That's a great name. That's a strong name.
It's so funny. So funny. I absolutely love it. Paul Greenwood says the Budvar mini cake is superb. Weren't they selling those at one point in like Aldi or something?
They've been. A lot of places sell them really cheap.
And that's I mean, I've just really enjoyed 2 bottles of that. That's really nice. Right. Change of pace.
Oh.
We are going to go with what I think might be the most underrated brew in the UK. Jimmy Rushworth 92 is in the chat. It's my friend Jimmy. He will know about these guys. Duration. They are unbelievable.
So nice.
This is their core. Oh, it's really cool. Like all their cans have got this kind of like really cool look about them. This is one of their core beers, an American Pale Ale at 5.5%, called Turtles All the Way Down, and that is the name.
Is that? I feel like that's a play on words. Is that an Alice in Wonderland reference?
I don't watch movies, Tom. I didn't even watch them as a kid. I wouldn't know.
Firstly, be cultured. It was a book, sir.
Oh, but there we go then.
Oh, what was it from? I don't think the Turtles is, but the something all the way down is definitely. I don't know if it's Alice in Wonderland or if it's. I don't know. Someone in the chat will tell me. I'm sure there's clever people out there somewhere.
Yeah, there's people that beat me. That is for sure. And I've got it in my favourite glass that I own, my Stendalegre Twisted Hops glass.
It's my favourite glass too. It's good, isn't it?
It's blooming good. There we go. It's a lot lighter beer than what it looks because it almost looks sort of oxidized, but it's really not.
What style of beer do I want to drink? I'm struggling.
Oh, such a lovely balance between those lovely bready malts and citrus. Lovely light citrus. It's just a really light beer, 5.5%. You cannot go wrong with that. And that cost me £3.50. And to put that into context, I was in Morrison's earlier and I saw that Tiny Rebel are selling their 505 New England IPA, whatever it is. It's terrible. For £1 more.
Wow.
What have you got, Tom? That is a Blue Monkey beer if I've ever seen one.
It is. It's the as I call it, the American, not that hazy.
Oh,
it's called American. It's called American hazy, as you'll soon discover. It's quite clear.
Yeah. That isn't that hazy, is it?
No. I think they did a test run of these, and I don't know whether it was just where the outlet was on the tank or whatever. And so they did a test canning or bottling before deciding what to call it and see what it was like, and it came out really hazy. And then the rest of it have been like that. So, oh well.
Yeah, but is it, now we've mentioned Blue Monkey, and I feel like a month has passed. Can we talk about that advent calendar?
Yeah,
I just love the destruction of it.
It was chaos.
It was like either end of the scale. It was like you couldn't get your hand in to get the 330s or the cans, and then to pull a bottle out, you had to bust the cans.
Yeah. It was fun because they didn't know that. Obviously, I think I have explained this on a stream before, but for those that weren't privy to it,
sorry.
I went and filmed basically an opening of every day on the Blue Monkey Christmas Advent calendar. So, and it was just going to be like a 30-second clip for them to put out on their socials, and yeah, great time. I got to keep all the beer afterwards.
Oh, legends!
Yeah, right. Yeah, great day. And which is why, by the way, I ended up drinking so much Blue Monkey beer because I already had a bit, and then I ended up with a whole advent calendar. And then, like, family and friends know I like it, so they bought me stuff for Christmas. Like, I've got it everywhere. So, they're not constantly supplying me with it. It's just that, yeah, I've ended up with a lot. Anyway, so they bought there's generic beer advent calendar boxes, and then they just put their own beers in and send them out. Right, it's what most people do unless they're really big time and print their own, which is an unnecessary expense because they're not selling that many of them. So they went and bought generic ones. Did it last year, no issues, was fine. Bought exactly the same thing from exactly the same company, and the company had changed the specs on the boxes, but to save a bit of cardboard by like 3 mil per section. And yeah, like you say, the hole wasn't big enough for me to get my hand in. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite large, but my hands aren't excessively big. You know, I've not got big. Yeah, I've not got baseball mitt hands. And even so, I could not. Yeah, if it was more than if it was a 440 or a 330, like trying to delve down to get it, and then the 500 mils, you have to pull out and they get stuck. Like the circumference of the opening was exactly the same as the circumference of the bottle. It was just chaos. But like, there's nothing you can do at that point. You've got to film it with there's no one knowing. So
they use this style of bottle, the big sort of slim neck, fat waist sort of bottle.
Yes, it's these. As a point in case, just to have them to hand. There's that many around here. There, that's that style. Which, incidentally, these are the best for doing homebrew with.
Well, there we go. See, homebrew's a thing to me. I just leave it. Like, as a beer drinker, I just do the enjoying part. I'm not going to get involved with the manufacturing part because I'm not that clever.
It's quite enjoyable. What it does teach you is, how good even maybe not a great brewery is in some ways.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, if you see what I mean, like, because it's very easy to go, well, that person's great because I really like it, and that person's rubbish because I'm not that bothered. But you can't make beer as good as that rubbish one most of the time. Like, it's very unlikely you're going to get anywhere near it. So, yeah.
Can't you just go full Tiny Rebel and just have about 20 purees or coolies on the desk and then just like pour a load of blueberry puree into a best bitter and flog it?
You could do that. Yes. Oh, you couldn't flog it though. You have to get a license for that.
Ah, there we go.
It's not homebrew then, but yes.
Yes. Hello, Tiny Rebel. Sorry, I'm just not a fan of you. Where are we? There we go. Jimmy. Hello, mate. Jimmy says nothing better to listen to while putting up a desk than the dulcet tones of Mark Drury. My voice has never been called or described anywhere near dulcet tones. It's more Kentish chav. if you will.
I was wondering if he'd misspelt Dorset tones. I didn't know if that's what he was going for.
Oh, I can do that. It's not Norfolk's not a million miles off of the old Dorset.
That's what I thought.
Henry says, good throw. Thomas Flynn says, Greeters Guild is hilarious. Honestly, unbelievable. So funny. The Poundland Greeters Guild. Did you ever see the one at B&Q where he goes, so you're telling me you want me to leave? Are you telling me you don't want your shoppers to have a good day? And they were like, no. So funny. Everyone says, oh, hello there, sir. Welcome to Boots. Henry says, Thomas Flynn, yeah. Terry Pratchett. Is that Turtles All the Way Down?
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it might be.
See,
it might be.
So Jimmy's a good friend of mine. He's one of those characters. Sometimes he talks, and I just can't. I can't engage because I'm just not intelligent enough.
Sorry, the dog just keeps sitting out. Oh, you've gone further away. All right, no, I'm just going to come back then.
There we go.
Not too far.
Thomas Flynn says he's just on the old Sannies before he moves on to something more exotic.
San Jujuel.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
I haven't had the San Miguel in ages.
Oh, it's all brewed here now, though. It's rubbish.
Well, if you get the is it called export or exporto? Generalizing Spanish language there.
Exporto. Yeah. Could be.
Apparently, that's the Spanish one, and it's good.
Fair.
Is that a JCB Lego, Tom?
No, this is my Jeep Rubicon.
Oh.
Sorry. It was on the shelving behind. I smartened all the shelves up and made it look nice. But then this is like I've got nowhere to put this now, so it kind of just floats around the room and gets put on any surface. And the problem is I've left it here, and it's really fun to play with, so I just keep moving it around. And it can actually ride the wall and stuff like that. You can't see it there. Can you? Hold on. See it there? It's actually riding the wall and the counter on an angle. It's quite good. Just being a child, don't worry about it. He's frozen. I thought he was just giving me a look of haughty derision. He's left. Look, that was a good magic trick. Can't hear you. Mic's off.
I've got this annoying StreamYard signal thing again that I had on my old laptop.
I think it's just the rural location you're in.
It is, isn't it? Everyone's using the internet.
What is your? Have you done a speed test? What is your download and upload speed? It'd be interesting to see.
Probably about a third of yours.
Mine's only come up to reasonable standards in the last 6 months, so it's not that. It's not that likely.
Let's run a speed test through Google. So now it's gone. Like I get this signal thing. Just so everybody knows, I get this signal thing, and I know it's going to go. Right, internet speed test. Download is around 14.
Okay.
Upload is 14.
Okay. That should be. Yeah, I suppose if other people are using it, it might be the issue. If other people are watching Netflix, then that might start to hamper you a bit. But on its own, it's okay.
There we go. Jimmy says Turtles is a top beer, mate. I forgot how good it was. I haven't drunk this in a long time. It's very, very good. £3.50 a can as well. It's absolutely bonkers. Nuts that you can get a beer that good at 5.5% at £3.50. Henry 420 says, have you tried a spliffing meal deal at all? Was he in Tesco's or something? Lord John says, hello, you bunholes. Yes. Hello, John.
He's going on a stag do, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? But there's a little bit of a caveat to his little stag do. He's driving.
I am so disappointed. It's unreal.
I thought we were going to get John burger sauce all down his chin in his red leather button-back chair at some point, but we're not going to get that.
Oh no! I bet he's not even got a novelty T-shirt with something vulgar on it, has he?
Probably not.
What are you doing? What are you doing, John?
I'll
What are you doing?
sack it off, John, and come on here. Henry 420's laughing. John says, "Hi, David. We're all great. Thanks. How are you?" John says, "Good evening." Or Henry says, "Good evening, John." And a charming man. Henry also says, "Smash that like button, subscribe, and share. Amazing community. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Henry."
I'm moving this so I can't play with it because it's just very distracting.
Thomas Lynn says, Lord's Brewing Company House of Stag Party. Is that good? He's watching us. I don't think it started yet. John says, "Hi, Henry. How's your week been, matey?" David says, "Good, thanks, John. Looking forward to receiving beers. Super fat turnaround on order. Appreciated." Oh,
He's made a purchase.
David has been to the Lord's Brewing Co. website to order some beers. Has David got some of the bottled double fermented beers, I wonder? Henry says, "Lord's Brewing Co. Not bad, thanks, mate. I hope yours was good." John says, "No problem, David. We do try." Someone's going to say, "Come on, 20 likes." That's not a horse. He's asking for 20 likes on the.
You can do 20. You got 50. You got 5. We're 75% of the way there.
Like if you were big guys, I'd appreciate it. Thomas Flynn says, "Lord's Brewing Co. use taxis so you can drink." Absolutely.
Yeah, Lord Brewing Co.
Absolutely. He's got breweries absolutely minted. I've been to his mansion. John says, "Stag do's at 7." And he says, "I'll be dressing up warm as it's outside."
Look, it's outside and you're not drinking. Look, John, I would very rarely start to touch on anyone's religious beliefs when trying to convince them to do something. But all I can say is that Jesus did not turn water into wine for you to drive home. Silence there. Absolute silence.
I've yes.
I've flummoxed him. That wasn't offensive. That wasn't offensive. That was just some things that happened.
Yes, take some good old imperial stouts with you or something if it's outside. And by the way, who organises a stag do in Yorkshire outside on the 3rd day of February?
That's a good question.
I think the best man needs to come on here and explain himself. David says all 3 of the new ones. Well,
nice.
I do have the last of the beers that I have because I haven't reviewed it yet is LA Speedcheck Mountain IPA. I have to say, after drinking the Bandon Car and the Weekend Driver pipped it. I love that beer.
Nice. I've not tried it yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's good. Mosey B says, "Cheers all. First out since New Year's Eve." Oh, he's been doing the old dry January. Sure Shot's best dressed chicken in town. Sounds like you've been to Norfolk there, mate. That's probably an award ceremony around here. Thomas Flynn's laughing. And Dave Wilson says, "Hi, Mosey Biz." Thomas Flynn says, "Proper pub crawl is the way to go." That's probably what it is, isn't it? It's probably a pub crawl. Pub crawls are like, I've just seen John's message.
Yeah.
Henry says, Henry says, "Cheers, Adam." Chris, how you doing, mate? I haven't seen you there for ages. What's happening, lads? Marco and Crummy, have a good weekend, lads. Hope all is well up the Chelsea. Are you in LA at the moment, Chris? Because your Instagram, you're always off somewhere else. It's like I have to sort of mute you to not get jealous quite a lot of the time. David Durrell, how you doing, mate? Evening. Are you competing with Rusco and Disco? No. Good friends of mine actually came back from the pub to watch a virtual pub. No, there's no competing here, mate. I can absolutely say that on my life. Lord's Brewing Company says, "I'm just sweeping my helicopter pad down, doing my pre-flight checklist." See, I told you. You think that's a joke and everyone's laughing, but this is actually true, isn't it, Tom?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's got 7. I wonder which one he's taking to the stag do.
Probably that lousy £1.2 million one, that brown one, that weird paint job one.
Yeah. I thought for the stag do he'd take the one with the novelty oversized wang on the underside of it, just for extra comic value.
Fair point.
I mean, the entire thing is bright purple. I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but yeah, could be.
Yeah, it's true. Depends. I mean, if I was John, I'd probably just go in the Ferrari, but horses for courses. David Wilson says, John, you having a helicopter in the future is something I can see you doing. Yes, and he would absolutely create a channel about it as well.
The fact you didn't say prancing horses for courses makes me very sad.
This is what I need you here, Tom. David Ross says they're live at the moment. If they are, I hope they're having a great time. Lord's Brewing Company says I've nothing to do with the organisation. I think it'll be tame. Jesus was a brewer. What can I say?
He would want you to get a taxi back. That's what I'm saying, John.
When he was sitting in Jerusalem at 0 BC or 0 AD, would he have said that? He says, John, ye book a taxi on the 3rd of February 2023. I feel like they spoke like that.
Definitely. Whilst wearing his Air Force Jerusalems. That's exactly what
it's true. Henry 420 says, could see you rocking the Lord's Brewing helicopter. It's actually in the wrap shop at the moment, Henry. You've kind of sport John's next video on Nerd in Motion. Mersey Beer says, plus it's Disco and Luke John, not Rasco. No, Rasco's a Nighthawk. I feel like Rasco has the same sleeping pattern as a bar now. So he sleeps.
I watched them for the first hour, and Luke John's now just known as Rasco Jr. That's what we've decided. So just
has he got orange glasses?
They're on the way.
I think they probably will be. John says, Henry, that would be funny. Yeah, well, it's fun. It'll be funny, all right, in 2 weeks when you get it back. Henry's fucking sung up. Chris is back now, mate. Was visiting a pal. Back now off to the bridge tonight for Chelsea versus Fulham. Going to say 2-0 win to the mighty Chelsea. Mate, you've spent enough money, haven't you? You've spent some money. I heard you haven't you spent the most amount of clubs ever spent in the January transfer window or something? Spent about 200 million on 2 players. Bonkers. Henry 420 says they're doing some Sky promos with smoke and stuff. All those big banner things. That's true, mate.
Oh, if John had a helicopter, right, I'm with you.
Yeah. Henry said that'd be ace. Yeah. Well, keep an eye on the Lord's Brewing Co. YouTube channel. You never know. Tom says, rumor has it all the stags are to be dressed up as maids.
Frisky.
I've worn worse. Mersey Beers says, cheers, Henry. Good seeing you, Mersey. Hope you're well, mate. How's the old American non-hazy going down?
It's very good. This is a much... I keep doing this. I keep coming back to it and going, yeah, I should have just saved those for the summer. It's a really good hot weather beer. But the mouth feels good. Carbonation's on. It's not heaps of it, but it's there. It's like it's the right amount for the style. Really, it's not bloating, but it's got that really snappy, bitter edge to it. That's just like if you cool this down even more in summer, it's an insanely good barbecue beer.
Yeah,
but right now, maybe not quite there. It's got good malt base to it, but maybe just not pronounced enough for a winter pale. If that makes any sense.
No, I do know what you mean. Oh, phone's buzzing away. Probably John sending me insults. No, I do know what you mean. It's such an old sort of like cliche thing that you try and avoid as a beer reviewer because I've said it so many times. It's like, oh, you can imagine you and your mates around the barbecue with this one. It's like, oh, don't say that. How can?
It's true.
But sometimes it's just the go-to that everybody knows.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, Turtles All the Way Down has gone all the way down. What are we talking?
I don't know what you've got other than a full beer fridge.
I've got some really good stuff in here. So I've got that. I'm not going to do those because they're not very good beers. I don't know why I'm wasting energy chilling them. I've got a Verdant Pale.
Interesting. Any good?
I don't know. I've never had it. I've got an elusive. I think this is American Red Ale.
Nice.
Flock. West
Flock.
Coast IPA. Never had a flock beer actually. I've got a sour. Or I just go on to my supermarket stuff, which I probably feels best at this time.
Yeah, it can do. It can be.
Heathen. No, I'll tell you what, we're not doing that 'cause it's just in the ABV.
I was going to say. Interesting choice.
This. Invisible Cities. I believe this was brewed with Sabro, and I love Sabro.
Speaking of supermarket beer, the beer that was unwittingly sprayed all over my room here yesterday was my first ever from Mad Squirrel, and it was a supermarket buy.
Was it the American Pale or was it the New England?
It was the American Pale. Was it Sumo?
Yes.
First one I ever had. You know what? Despite it covering my room, it was very good. That's a really good supermarket buy, that beer.
I'll tell you the scary thing. I was literally on the phone to John earlier. I was sort of looking at the prices of stuff and discussing prices. And I said, I cannot believe that Mad Squirrel are putting out that quality for £3 a can.
Oh, it's insanely good. It's insanely good. And if you've watched my beer preferences over time, I don't get that excited about pale ales. I know I'm drinking one right now, but in general, I really struggle to be like, that's fantastic with any pale. But that one really was. Like, that's genuinely very good.
Yeah. I had a couple of beers the other day. I bought 4. I bought the 2 Mad Squirrel ones. I bought Shoot to Thrill, which was the Southern Hemisphere IPA from Wild Child.
I've had that, yes. I don't want to say I recognise that, and I realised I recognise it because it's an AC/DC song. But yes, I've had that.
And then there's another one. I can't remember.
Have you drank that one yet?
What, Shoot to Thrill?
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Sometimes, especially with Wild Child, a lot of the stuff they put in is quite novelty, like the jam donut pale that they did.
Almost, they're renowned for adjunct beers, right? So for them to bring that out and it'd be really good is like.
I was wow. I remember, when you buy something, I bought it because it was new, and then I tried it and I was like, wow, okay. I was like, because normally, it's all sorts. Let's just look at that.
That's hazy. That's more hazy than my hazy beer.
Oh, the coconut. Yes. Totally into that.
You've got him.
Chris says, mate, spent 600 million in 2 windows. Facts are, if you have money and ambition, why wouldn't you spend? People are scared of Chelsea, rightfully so. Hated, adored, never ignored up the Chelsea. It's true. I think, you can outspend anyone at the moment. Thomas Vincent, Mark, what's the worst you've worn? Christ, mate. The worst experience was wearing a pudsey suit in a really hot school just before COVID, in the November before COVID, and everyone come down with what we call pudsey flu. So it's the proper BBC.
You're gonna need to explain how you end up in that situation before you get put on a register. I'm afraid.
How I ended up in pudsey?
Yes. For want of a better phrase.
In a school. No, so through the social club I'm part of, we raise a few quid, especially around children in need time. We've got a pudsey suit, and everyone takes a turn. And
sorry. I tell you what, it's a good job Pudsey can't talk, isn't it?
Right. How can
carry on. Everyone takes a turn on Pudsey, then what happens?
Everyone takes a turn on Pudsey. In Tesco's and other places. And then, we raise a few quid. So the pudsey suit goes down, then it goes all the way down, then it returns up to your neck. So you can't see any skin. It's all designed to be, a thing. So the problem is that creates sort of like this sort of donut ring of sweat, mucus, bodily fluid. And this was the November before COVID, and everyone went down with this weird chesty cough thing, and we all called it pudsey flu.
Lovely stuff.
But that's probably the worst thing I've ever worn. Have worn other things. You can talk to me in private chat about that. Chris says we have spent more than Serie A, Liga, Bundesliga, League One combined. We've done it before when Roman came in and won it all. And we do it again. Have a good weekend, lads, up the Slager. Well, it's true. It's a money league now, isn't it? Let's be honest. Look at Man City and Liverpool. John says, my friends have an obsession with cooking everything over a fire at the moment.
I mean, that's just called barbecue, but that happens in the summer, John.
Yes. Mersey Beer says, like people. And Mersey Beer has an elusive brown ale for later. That'll be really good.
Oh yeah, I need to talk to you about this, about elusive. So you had the pumpkin coffee porter, didn't you?
Yes.
And you thought it was good.
I don't drink coffee porters, but for a coffee porter, I thought it was good. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've not tried this year's. I only had last year's. Last year's was abysmal.
So that really shocks me. I don't. Do you get this thing? Do you think there's this thing where certain breweries appeal to certain palates or certain taste buds?
Yeah, definitely. But the thing, it was because I went and bought that beer because loads of people, and I think Mersey was one of the people who recommended like go try elusives because I was asking for good Halloween beers, and several people, including I think Mersey, said go and try elusives, and I was like, everyone's recommending it. People that know what they're talking about, it's going to be fantastic. But even then, I didn't go into like this is going to be the best thing ever because all Halloween beers are a bit hit and miss, pretty much.
Yeah.
But so I was like, okay, well, we'll give this a go. And it was so drab. It was so watery. It was just like brown. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Maybe I had a bad one. I don't know. But
you never know. Yeah, you got to speak as you find, and yeah, that's fair. For me, elusive don't miss.
Interesting.
I just think they're brilliant.
I need to try some more of their stuff. I've been avoiding it because once you've bought one terrible one, you're like,
yeah,
risky. So,
but no, I mean they've done. they work. You'd think elusive are massive, right? They are tiny, like in terms of their brewing space.
See, I didn't think they were. Is this one of those things where it depends where you are in the country?
They do a lot of brewing off-site.
Right.
But in terms of their brewing space and their tap room, it is tiny. I went there in November. It is like, yeah, it's weird. It's like if you drive into somewhere, right? Say you're driving in and you go in this way and they've got an industrial unit that faces out that way. You're never going to see them because you're sort of driving.
Yeah.
And if you went to Sirencraft, which is you sort of drive to Sirencraft, it's always in front of you. You drive past Elusive. And I imagine for that reason, they probably don't get a lot of trade. But I saw a sign saying elusive. I was like, because we scheduled to meet people in Sirencraft. And I was like, nah, we're going to elusive. But yeah.
Siren aren't bad, but...
No, they're not bad at all. I was just spoiled with the option of elusive. So Jesse says, Lordsburg, hi, John. Is there any discount code before I order the Big 3 mix box?
I mean, I don't know if he's answered already, but
he has.
Oh, he has. Okay, I'll be quiet then.
I shall put that up now. Unfortunately, with all the crazy price increases, I have no wiggle room at the moment. That is fair. What were you going to say, Tom? Sorry, mate.
I was going to say basically the same thing, that someone asked it on the stream last night, and the answer was unfortunately not really viable at the moment. Sad times.
Yeah, difficult at the moment, guys. Lord Springcut says they've not done that yet, Mersey, but give it time. As in, cook people over an open fire. Henry Fortune says, Adam, I hope you're good, mate. Somebody says, no problem, brother. Order placed. David Wilson says, spoons raising prices steadily. Pint was $2.29 on Sunday. Today at $2.46. Yeah.
Well.
It's happening.
Well, an entire $2.46 for a pint. That's still obscenely cheap.
It's mental, isn't it? And the thing is, I'm not on the inside. Business is not my thing, really, especially big business like that. But the one thing you're guaranteed out of a Spoons pub is a high turnover cask rate. So you've never got that kind of cask that sat there for 4 or 5 days. You've always probably got a cask that's been put on, if not on the day, maybe the previous day. Yeah. So you're always guaranteed a half decent pint out of Spoons, and for $2.46, that's probably not bad. Lord's Brewing Company says, ask Spoons for a price increase this week. Fair play, mate. Yeah, you have to. You have to. It has to work for you brewers as much as it does those guys. David Durrell says, you know when you're drinking too much when you're on first name terms with your brewer. I seem to be on first name terms with 3 here in South Africa. Oh, mate, nice one. I don't think I've had anyone in South Africa yet. So cheers. What a legend.
David's a well-travelled man.
I'd imagine South Africa's a really good place for beer. It's kind of one of those, especially Cape Town, it's got that sort of trendy kudos thing, isn't it?
It's true.
Which probably would help. So Lord says, big love, Sobieski. Absolutely. Henry says, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Mersey says, charity stream of Mark drinking in the Pudsey suit. Mate, you will not get me in that again. Like, we were talking about it for the upcoming November, and I'm like, no, not doing it. I'm not the community officer this year. I don't need to worry about that.
Never again.
Henry says, be right back, you guys. Absolutely, mate. Take care. Somebody says, same back to you and yours. Henry says, that'd be cool, Adam. John says, right, I need to get ready. Have a great evening. John, take care, mate. Please wear that Orval t-shirt thing because that looked amazing the other day.
You got an Orval t-shirt?
Oh, no, sorry, button up. But don't wear the one.
Oh, sorry, different Orval. Yeah, I'm with you.
Don't wear that YouTube t-shirt underneath that makes it look like Screwfix workwear because me and Paul both commented on that. But he did look good with his Timberlands on the other day. He was rocking a thing. Thomas Flynn says, surprised that no one has made a Halloween beer, just called it Scary ABV. James Watt from Brewdog, are you watching?
No, he's too busy ripping off Guinness.
Oh, should we talk about
that? We can do. Well, actually, he's too busy ripping off the brewery I can never pronounce. Abaspach and Whoopidub. That one. I always forget. I really struggle with it. I always forget the actual words.
Can you actually say it?
Sorry?
Can you actually say it?
No, because I can't remember what the words are.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it unless you get me. Anspach and Hop Day.
Anspach and Hop. I always forget. I always know the first bit, and then I just go and so I forget. Yeah, yes, them.
Ansbert and Hubbard.
The reason I think the reason I always forget that don't see him around here at all.
No.
So yeah, not much exposure. But yes, Brewdog have done a black beer with a white head that looks suspiciously like that well-known Irish one, and also Anspach and Hobday's London Black, is it?
But they've put it in the gold stamped glass, haven't they? Which London Black's now famous for.
So, yes, interesting. It's but the marketing's very much targeted at Guinness, I think, even though they ripped off the styling from Anspach.
I'll tell you what Brewdog have done, and you have to give them credit for this. They've been clever. In terms of marketing, not the company.
Well, they've always been good at marketing. In fact, you could argue the only thing they've ever been any good at is marketing.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this up.
Mersey Beer says, Ansday and Hopspatch, question mark. I like that.
Where did I chat, didn't we? Where is it? There we go. So this was it on your Instagram, Tom?
It wasn't on my Instagram. It was on Brewdog's Instagram.
Oh, okay. It wasn't created in 1759. It's not so black and white anymore.
It's cheeky, isn't it?
Cheeky sausages, I'll tell you, those guys over there. Mersey Beer says, I have 4 brown ales for tonight. What? Okay. Ooh. Neptune, Elusive, Colonel, and Tuol. That's a good lineup, mate.
I'm going to say something that will be very divisive and probably result in a series of unfollows from my channel.
Is it about Colonel?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, go on, say it, because I think
I've never enjoyed a Colonel beer.
I've
I've had about 4 or 5, and I've always been gone, what are people raving about? It's dross. I mean, it's not awful. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad beer. But they've got this kind of reputation of like, it's all about the beer. It's not about the branding and the marketing. They're not very shouty. Like, it's all about the quality. And I'm always like, I'm just like, no. I just, it's fine. But I'm really not. I just don't dig it.
I'm with you a lot on this. I think. See, I've got this thing about Colonel. It's like I think they're so understated that they're overstated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're a very, very serious beer brew. I mean, I think Paul had an Azaka hops dry stout in the tap room. I didn't drink it. It's the only beer that they had on keg that I didn't drink, because it's like, mate, I don't want to. I'm just not in the headspace for that right now.
It just always seemed a bit. I always seem to come away with like slightly hop foggy head from their beer as well.
Yeah,
like the solution to all their problems was just add more hop. I was like, it's not the solution to all your problems.
I do agree with you on that, mate. Yeah. And when you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, I know what he's going to say.
Yeah. I just don't. I'm happy to try them, but I'm like, you know, when someone goes, oh, they're a really good brewer, really like high quality, like I want simplistic beer from someone that can brew that well. What I don't want you to do is supercharge your London Porter or whatever with 18 different US hops. I'm like, no, I want to see what you can actually do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think they're one of those breweries that sort of there's like an air about them, isn't there, in the community? And it's like, I say community amongst beer drinkers. But yeah, I'm with you. I really enjoyed their different hop pails and stuff, but I struggle with this with like an Azaka hops dry stout. Like, just give me an Azaka hops IPA or give me a stout. I don't want.
Yeah, there's a lot of They do like to do a lot of crossover.
Which is fair. Tom, can I leave you for 2 minutes whilst I say goodnight to my daughter before she goes to bed?
You can indeed. I hope he's not too long. I do have to leave in about 5 minutes, so just
no, that's fine. I'll jump, and then give us 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back.
No worries. I will pick up the comments then from where he left off. I don't know where he left off. Let me find out. Hold on. Let me scroll up here. Where did we leave? I think the last one was that Halloween comment. Was it? Was it a Halloween comment? We got to that point. We got past there. Oh, it was the brown ales comment that sparked the Colonel debate, of course, from Mercy. He says, Elusive's Oregon Trail is now being contract brewed at Double Barreled. So I heard great things about Oregon Trail. I do want to try that. Paul Greenwood says, not a man's brown ale in sight, Mr. Mersey. Certainly not. It says half decent pint at Spoons? ? No, it's only if the Spoons is in the cask region. A lot of the Spoons cask is ranked been sat there for a week. Yeah, I've not had great cask and Spoons any time in the last few years for sure. Like Paul Greenwood, that from Mersey Beer says that gives brown ale a bad name in regard to the man's brown ale. Thomas Flynn says, Lords Brinker, at least the stock market is starting to bounce back a bit. I'm not sure where that stemmed from, but yes, indeed. It certainly does, Mersey. Enjoy your night, John. David says, I'm job hunting at the moment. I want to go to Dubai or another Emirate and take home 2 to 2.5 times what I do now. Fair. I don't blame you. Beer's choice is probably going to be a bit limited, though. Now we're back to Mersey's Ansday and Hopspatch, which is my new favourite thing to call them. David says, Tom, have you had the London Black? I do not believe it's a Guinness clone. It is a good beer, though. Sorry, no, that's not a Guinness clone. But Brewdog were cloning their kind of branding on that beer. I haven't had it though. I'll say we just don't see Anne Sebastian Hub Date up here at all. Nowhere. Thomas Flynn says he's thinking of doing some part-time teaching to bring some extra cash in. Sounds like a very wise plan. David says, good discussion on the beer monster last night. Confirmed what I suspected, that they are a Chinese rebadge machine. There are several other very similar machines to choose from. Certainly are. The only reason beer monster maybe stood out was because they've got a bit more in the way of kind of customer service and demos, and they source a lot of beers to sell alongside it and that sort of thing. The machine itself is not anything special, but it does work very well, as we discussed last night. Thomas Flynn just says to top up that beer fund. That's a good reason to do it. David Wilson says difficult as it's nitro. You need special equipment to do that in a can or bottle. Yes, that's true. Henry says he's got an old speckled hen on the go. Not had that for a long time. I assume it's not aged well, but I might be wrong. David says didn't realise that. Thought it was a special race. Mersey, as regards to my thoughts on Colonel, it says I reckon you've had the Colonel pale beers. They do better on their sours and their darker malty beers. I've never had a sour. I've had their table beer. I've had 2 different porters and 2 pales. Or was it? Oh, a porter and a stout and 2 pales. But both of the porter and the stout were just overdone with US hops. It was just not. Yeah, I didn't get to appreciate the base beer. It was just full hops. I was a bit like, well, I could have done this in a pale and ended up with a better experience. So, yeah, never mind. Thomas says, what's everyone's favourite Telegraph poll? Any that doesn't fall on my house. So that's my preference. David bought a couple of Colonel bottles when at the beer stall at the market near King's Cross, when hanging around for a train to York after flying in. I think they were expensive for what they were. Yeah, they're not cheap. That's the other issue. Most said, David, isn't that all London breweries? Yeah, they're probably all pretty pricey. Henry says, Thomas Bro, it has to be the good old-fashioned wooden ones. Yes, a wooden Telegraph pole. Solid choice there. Solid choice. Everyone just saying hello. David says, what's a good craft beer brown ale? I can't recall one. Oh, I've definitely had some. I'm pretty sure New Bristol Brewery do a good brown ale. And I'll think on some others. There's got to be more than that. Everyone's just saying hi again. Henry says, tastes good, crummy, but my palate isn't well tuned. Will be interesting to see what you think. Well, I am doing a spread out origin series where I try beers that I used to drink when I was younger. And that one will end up on there because I did used to drink a wee bit of that. So yeah, you'll find out at some point in the next few months, I'm sure. Now, not only have I got to talk to myself, but I've got to hope that Mark comes back within a few minutes because I need to go and cook dinner. So he's just going to have to wait and see and hope and pray that he returns. David says, I need to order some New Bristol beers. Keep being recommended. New Bristol are ace. Very good indeed. There's loads of Bristol in general is really good for beer at the minute. New Bristol Brewery, Left-Handed Giant, Arbor. There's loads. There's like 5 or 6 top tier breweries all in that area at the minute. Here he is.
Hello.
That was a good time. I've got like a minute or so and I need to dart. Yeah. So we nearly caught up with we did catch up with the comments and then more came in. So we are on Mersey beers at 06:23.
This one, Thornbridge Impey Brown, was extremely good and cast. I can imagine. Thoughts on Thornbridge, Tom, before you go?
Well, I think they've got the best supermarket dark beer, so I can't hit on them too much.
Yes.
You know what?
Although Lervig's Imperial Stout was insanely good.
Yeah, but it's not a easily available all the time supermarket buy, and it's horrendously expensive.
So it's true. It's bonkers that Cocoa Wonderland ends up in like Aldi and Lidl sometimes.
Yeah. For a base, cheap beer, absolutely stunning. I'm not always. I mean, they do so much, don't they? They release so much. They do so many different styles and different varieties. I'm not mad on their pale stuff because they. I mean, I don't like Jaipur at all, and I know a lot of people do. Really don't like it. Their hop profile choices for pale beer just aren't my bag. But I
Have you had the
generally
double dry
enjoy
hop
everything else.
Jaipur in the green can?
No, because that's just feels to me like going to be the bit I don't like about Jaipur made even worse. So
No, I think it adds to Jaipur. Jaipur's missing something nowadays, and it adds back to Jaipur what I think's missing.
I didn't, yeah, but I didn't like it 10 years ago.
Oh, that's fair. Then you don't like
it.
this one.
So, no, I just don't. Just something about it really grates me, and it's just not. I don't know. I just don't like it. But in general, I think I think they do good stuff. It's just not all of it's for me, but that's not a problem because they do so much stuff. So there you go.
Well, it's true.
If you're that's it. And on that note, I'm going to bounce. Thomas Flynn wants to know what I'm having for tea because I've got to go cook. I'm going to do risotto. I was going to say in the air fryer, but it actually uses the pressure cooker function on the air fryer. So yeah, it's done quite quick, but it's tasty.
Risotto in the air fryer?
It's in the pressure cooker. It's like it's not actually using the air fry function. It's pressure cooking it, so you can cook it really quickly. It's quite good.
Christ almighty.
Yeah. Risotto in like 40 minutes rather than like hours. So
yeah. Oh yeah, pouring like 5 ml of water on it.
Yeah, none of that nonsense. It's easy stuff. So I'm going to go do that now. Right, mate. Tonight. So cheers for having me, mate. Have a good one.
Oh, mate, thanks
for
coming.
Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll catch you all very, very soon.
Have a great weekend, Tom.
Speak to you later, mate. Cheers.
Bye. And there was one. There we go. What a legend he is. Cheers, Tom, for coming in, mate. What a legend. Henry says, cool, crummy people, look out for that. Thomas Flynn says, what's for tea? Obviously, you heard Tom's. You know what I've got? I've got a Koralan curry. I've got one of those like packs where you buy it. Sort of like it's not Blue Dragon, but you know, like the Blue Dragon packs where you get like the paste, the nuts, and like whatever else in it. I quite like those. David Durrell says, I want to order the Timmy Taylor mix case. I'll tell you what, mate, I think you'd be really happy with that. I quite like the Timmy Taylor beers, if I'm honest. Over here, because you were, where were you, David? Sorry, you were South Africa. So over here, if Timmy Taylor's landlord's on, and I love craft beer, I wouldn't necessarily categorize landlords as craft beer, if I'm honest, but they do so many different variants. Like Timmy Taylor's do like Bolt Maker Landlord, Landlord Dark. There's so many beers in there for you. I think you'll really enjoy that pack. Crummy can say this is a spectacular beer without sounding. Crummy can say this is a spectacular beer while sounding down about it. He's a very understated man. He's Crummy. He's very, very much a thinker's guy, which I think his whiskey reviews would be really good if you're into whiskey. But yeah, he doesn't get excited about much, Crumb. He sort of stays quite level-headed, so that's fair. Henry Waters says, David Devon tried the IPA, very nice. Yeah, Timmy Taylor's IPA, yeah, it's good. Slurpy Dave's in Slurp. How you doing, mate? I hope you're well. How is the Isle of Man this time of year? Everyone's saying hello to Slurpy. He says, all right, Mark and Tom, how you doing, my friend? David says, cheers, Tom. Mosey says, I'm not a massive fan of Thornbridge's core range. Their specials are way better. Green Mountain is my home bargains go-to. You know what? Mersey, I'm with you, mate. I'm absolutely with you. I think they can be brilliant, Thornbridge, and there's like no in between. There's like no in between with them. They're either brilliant or they're like, ugh. There's sort of no in between. But I understand that. David Wilson says, hi, Slurpee. David Durrell says, pressure cooker with air fryer. What? Mate, David, in the UK, we went on this like mad pressure cooker journey the past sort of 2 or 3 years. Yeah, I think Tom's got the all signal dancing ninja one. I think he did a review on it. Go and have a look at his review on it. I believe he did a review on it. And it does everything. Like you can do like crispy chicken wings, and then the next day you can do risotto in it. Unbelievable. He says, peace, Tom, man. Slurpy Dave says, dodgy brewery, Thornbridge. Made a lot of dosh through sellout and taxes. I didn't know that about Thornbridge. I've checked that. Thomas Flynn says, Vocation is one of my favourite breweries. They're really good. I think core range. I don't know if there's a better sort of like big supermarket core range. Northern Monk don't really have a core range, do they? Maybe Faith. That's about the only one. But yeah. Henry 420 says, nice bit of a meal kit, Mark. Love a curry. Yeah, I just love those meal kits. They're just so easy. And it's like, if you were to cook that curry from scratch, especially if it's new, it's going to be a lot of effort. And I think it's a really good way to just taste a lot of stuff without having to put the effort in. Mosey Bill says, South Africa had any Devil's Peak. Oh, here we go. Yeah. David Durrell's from Africa. South Africa. Sloppy Dave says, had a pint of Timmy Dark Mild in our tonight. Sublime. Yes. They're just a really good brewery. They're just a really good brewery. They're never going to do you know what I mean? They're never going to sort of do the big, well, they do big numbers, but they're never going to sort of be top of everybody's or on the tip of everybody's tongue when you talk about top breweries. But yeah, they just do a good beer. Sobieski says, hi Wilson. Sobieski says, Timmy Taylor the Landlord is a fantastic beer, and I agree, Sobieski. If I go in my local, and they keep beer really well in my local, if I go in there and I see Landlord, I'm all over it, and I'm done for the night. That and Purity, the Purity beers, I really rate the Purity beers. So David Ross says, I've been drinking Timmy Taylor's Landlord for 40 years. I have a house in York. I still lament the demise of the John Bull pub 30 years ago. Right. I'm 34. Never drunk in the John Bull pub. Let me know. David says, I have 2 air fryers, one in South Africa, one in the UK. Neither have a pressure cooker setting. Yeah, I think Ninja, I think the brand is called Ninja. We have the basic, what's it called? Toshiba or something. You just put the tray in and out. But yeah, the new ones where they're 200 quid. They're yeah, they got all the settings on. Incredible, really. Mosey Beer says, sell out Slurpee. Are they still independent? Thornbridge. I believe they are. Has anyone got any knowledge about this? I believe they are. Mosey Beer says, I have an 80s slow cooker which has had my jacket potatoes in all day, just doing the steak. Yes. Slurpee Dave says, tried making coconut wine. Oh, it's a joke. I heard coconut and I was like, all starry-eyed. Tried making coconut wine, ended up in hospital with broken ankles. Tramp. I'll tell you what, that fits Slurpee because I hoofed. I worked today. It was literally my last job of the day, and I was working in an old train station, and they got the massive steps. I live in a new house where they've got the small steps. It's all building regulations. Big steps in this old station, really steep staircase. I hoofed it and broke the second toe on my left foot today. So you talk about broken ankles. Yeah, I hear you. David Ross says, I'm not from South Africa, just employed here. Oh, nice. I'm a Lancastrian. Awesome. I started drinking in Boddingtons when it was a real ale. Jeez. Fair play. Slurpee says, Thornbridge are, but original owners made a fortune out of a dodgy deal. Oh, hello. I've got my daughter here. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's just got out of the bath going, Dad. Slurpee says, oh, broken toe hurts forever. Oh, mate, it does. Especially I'm an active worker. I'm a manual worker. I'm a Sparky, you know. So yeah, not the best thing in the world. Right, guys, I am gonna pass it over because I want to go and spend some time with my daughter because when I got in, she was asleep and she woke up during the stream. So you can probably hear her crying in the background. So thanks everybody for coming in. Just to let you know, if you don't know already, of course you do. Simon, Real Ale Craft Beer, his Stone the Crow Virtual Pub, or the Stone Crow Virtual Pub, is live from 7 p.m. It's only 26 minutes away. Go and say hello. And I will see you on a stream very soon. Thanks, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and I would appreciate it. I've got a naked daughter down here. She's just got out of the bath. I've got to go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe if you'd be so kind. I will see you on the next one. Cheers. It's the awkward bit now.